This is problem number 7 from section 5.3. It says, at a distance of 3 feet, professional golfers make about 95% of their putts. For each additional foot of distance, this percentage decreases by a factor of 0.7. Write an exponential function p that gives the percentage of putts pros make at a distance of x feet beyond the 3-foot distance. We know we can write exponential functions using y equals ca to the x. C is the initial amount, a is the decay factor, and x, in our case, is the increase in distance, but sometimes that's time. I have written that C in our case is 95% because that's the percentage of putts that professionals make at 3 feet, and that's our starting point. Professional golfers decay at a rate of 0.7 per foot. So 0.7 every additional foot. And x is the distance after 3 feet because they want us to, they say x is feet beyond 3-foot distance. So that I wrote that in there as distance beyond. So it says, write an exponential function p that gives the percentage of putts pros make at a distance of x feet beyond the 3-foot distance. So for part A, we're going to say that p equals our initial amount, which is 95%, times our decay factor, to the power that is going to be the distance after 3 feet. So if we're at 3 feet, we'll put a 0 in here, and that's how we get 95%. Anything after, like 1, 2, 3, that's going to tack on 0.7 depreciation, basically. So that's our answer for part A. For part B, they say, estimate this percentage for 18 feet. Now, they want us to round to the nearest tenth. Keep that in mind when we do this. But if we're going to estimate for 18 feet, all we've got to do is plug in 18, but we're not going to actually plug in 18 because they're talking about an 18-foot putt, but x is our distance after 3 feet, so we need to do 18 minus 3. So we can put that in here, 18 minus 3. And that's going to equal, so we know 18 minus 3 is just 15. I just wanted to put that there to show you why we're doing that. So we're going to do 95.7 to the 15th. That tells us 45%, but they want us to round to the nearest tenth, so that's about 50%. We'll say equals 0.5, which is 50%. Part C, what additional distance decreases this percentage by half? Now, the percentage they're talking about is the 95%. They're talking specifically about 95%. So to get that, we're going to say, what's half of 95? Well, 95 divided by 2 is 47.5. So we're going to say 47.5 equals 95. 0.7 to the x. And then we're going to divide each side by 95. And that'll give you 1/2 equals, and this would be 0.7 to the x. Now at this point here, we don't really have the tools, we haven't learned the tools to solve this equation. So let's actually solve this graphically. To solve it graphically, we're going to graph 1/2, and then we're going to graph 0.7x. So let's go to the y equals, and we're going to graph 0.5, which is 1/2. And then we're going to graph 0.7 to the x. And then I better change my window. We'll go for the x values. I mean, the lowest we can have is 0, I suppose. And the max, we'll say 50. And we'll go up by 5s. And then for the min, for the y values, the most we can have is 95. So the max is 95. The min then would be 0. And let's go up by 5s there. Graph it. I don't think we got quite what we wanted there, so let's go ahead and let's go to window, and let's change this to, instead of 50, let's change this to like 20. Yeah, 20. And let's change the Y min and max to, well, we're looking for the min. Let's just see what happens when we change it to 20, and we'll go up by ones. It's still not showing us what we want there, so I'm going to go window, -10 for the X, -10 for the Y min, and let's go up in the Y's by ones. Okay, now we're getting a little closer here. You can see that they're going to intersect somewhere, and that's where we want to look. So let's go second, calc. We can hit the intersect button. And this is the first curve, which is the blue curve. And then the red curve. And then guess it. And it says they intersect at, x equals 1.94. So our x value there is 1.94. .94 feet. So this drops from 95% to 47.5%, 1.94 feet after 3 feet. So at 3 feet, we'll say professionals make 95% of putts, and at, we're going to say roughly 5 feet, they make 47.5%. So it's a significant drop. Hope that makes sense.